With many FlatBox controllers out there, I wanted to find something far more unique than the others, and that's where the SGF Bridget Type F comes into play. So now the controller just comes in this box with a bit of SGF branded taping, and I've just gone ahead and covered the shipping label. And now inside we actually get a nice treat of some banana flavored Laffy Taffy. Now inside we get our controller and a couple of things to go alongside it, including our manual, rubber adhesive feet, as well as SGFDevices and GP2040CE stickers. Okay, so now I wanted to give an overview of this controller, but first I want to disclose that SGF did send this out to me. However, they were actually very open to me giving honest feedback, and all opinions are my own. Now the first thing you'll notice is the art, and it does have a bit of a grainy texture if you look really close, but I was honestly surprised at the quality of the print since it came out really clean, and you only notice the grainy texture if you're really close to it. Now if you do decide to get art, the top panel does have to be black, but the bottom panels can be the color of your choosing. So the art can be printed onto the button caps like I have here, so it makes for a seamless look. These are Cine Arcade keycaps, and you have the option of getting them without the art using their customizer. The controller is also hot swappable, and when you pull off the keycap, the switch usually comes off with it too, but it's just as simple as plopping in a new switch, but just make sure it's the right kind as these use Kale Chalk V2 red switches. Now up here, we have our menu options with Start, Select, Home, Capture, L3, and R3. At the front of the controller, you can see a couple of cutouts, but only the USB-C port is used on the Bridget, as these have no functionality because they're cutouts for their Faust model, which offers features like RGB, USB pass-through, and the ability to connect things like a foot pedal. And on the bottom, you can install the rubber feet to make sure that your controller doesn't slip around on your table. So now let's talk durability with the 3D printed design. The top is fairly rigid, and this panel extends towards the bottom where there's no creaking or flex on the top or sides. It's closed off at the bottom with smaller panels beneath, and with these panels there is quite a bit of flexing, which I noticed immediately, so I asked them about it. They said that they're aware of the issue and have done multiple stress tests of snapping it in their hand and claimed that it wouldn't break under normal use. However, I'm not sure how much I would trust it, especially when put into a bag. Now the controller is pretty small and my hands got cramped up after a bit of playing with it on my lap, so it's definitely better to play with it on your table where it's more ergonomic. It has the standard layout with smaller action and movement buttons with a larger jump button, so it's pretty familiar in feel. Execution with it in game was fine and I had no issues with the response time. I've also been using a lot of controllers with Kale Chalk V2 red switches, so there's definitely no problems in terms of feel. My main gripe with it though is that the keycap spacing needs to be tighter, as there is quite a bit of wobble on these, and I definitely do notice it while playing, which throws me off. In training, these menu buttons are a lot better in feel than a lot of other controllers, because the flat buttons honestly hurt less than controllers with menu options that are small and point upward, and end up just digging into your fingers or making you press them with odd amounts of force. I would maybe swap around the position of Start and Select in the web configurator, as you do have to move your middle finger at a bit of an angle to reset training, whereas with Select on the left, you just have a straight path with your ring finger. So now where can you buy this? Over at SGFDevices.com, you have a couple of options from their limited edition Art Faust model, the Bridget Type F, and the Faust. Once you've selected a controller, you can go through the customization process to design it in just the way you'd like. As you can see, right now they're doing a sale, so right now is the best time to get $20 off your purchase. So now what are my final thoughts on the controller? If we didn't factor in price, I would say this is a nice option as it offers tons of customization from keycaps, shell colors, and art prints. Considering not many companies have this much customization and FlatBox controller companies don't usually offer art of this quality, they definitely do provide better services. However, when you factor in the price, even with the lowered pricing and $20 discount, you'll end up spending around $100 or $115 if you decide to add in a cable. For this price, I would expect USB pass-through like with other GP2040CE devices and not at a price increase of $50 like they have between their Bridget Type F and Faust models. At $100, you're definitely steering into more premium options as the market has changed, allowing for cheaper builds. It's up to you to decide if it's worth it, as you get all of these customization options and great support, but for me, it is far from premium to justify its pricing. I hope you learned something new, and please consider subscribing. Thank you.